Hello, good evening. Welcome to America's Heroes Group Roundtable live stream digital media show. I'm your host, U.S. Army Iraq Combat Medic and Flight Surgeon Colonel Dr. Damon Arnold, U.S. Army National Guard retired. We have a panelist with us who's really special. Wanda Soldier Petty is a retired Sergeant First Class and a creative consultant, strategist, and producer whose mission through She Vets inspires to empower women veterans. Today, we're going to talk about a topic I think is really interesting. It's about the agile woman. So the woman who's agile, is able to change and move and shake and do all those things. The agile woman thriving in AI and Scrum without a tech background. So how do you survive in this new era? You think AI and Scrum require a tech background? Think again. Women from all industries are leveraging their leadership and problem-solving skills to thrive in agile and AI-driven roles. No coding required. So, Sister Soldier, it is such a great honor to have you on. You're going to be giving us a roadmap and breaking into this future, future proofing your career to make sure women understand they have a role in this. So give us the whole lowdown on this.
Hey there. So it's great to see you again.
Yes.
And thank you for having me. Yeah, so it's funny that we oftentimes think about not being qualified for something that we are fully fitted to do, especially leaving the military or anyone who has a background of being a leader, who know how to collaborate, who know how to organize and put projects together. Whether we've identified ourselves as a project manager or not, those skills are still valuable. And so going into the age of AI, we can now take that skill that we have learned through leveraging our work experience or our experience by just planning events together at home, birthday parties, and just traveling and things that we have to prepare on a normal basis that we don't consider is basically project management. But now we're going into the age of AI. And so what I want to make clear is that we don't need to discount ourselves because of this new technology that is coming into the atmosphere that we are not familiar with. Think about back in the day when computers came out and everyone started, kind of wondering. They were confused. We weren't really sure. We knew how to play with this new thing of technology. Many of us dove in and some did not. And those that did not, it was very difficult for them to keep their career and leverage the experience that they already had. So what I am aiming to do is to break the myth of us putting ourselves in a disqualification realm before we even explore what it's like, because we have what it takes in learning AI, learning how to work with the AI module and Chat GPT, Perplexity, as well as the new Gemini, what Google has coming out, is really easy. That is some of the training that we provide, is showing how to work with AI and get familiar with it and start to create things and use our mind. I believe that using Chat GPT or any of those modules will help expand our way of thinking, because when we are prompting, it literally causes us to bring up another question. So we're not giving our ideas, we're expanding our mind.
Mhm. Yeah. So it's actually picking up some new skills along the way, but it sounds like a journey of exploration.
It is.
Exciting. I always think about Star Trek and all those movies where they're going into the future and looking at the universe, and it's really going to be very, very exciting. If you are one of those people who's really like an adventurer and you want to go into that. So, but how do people, get the basic skills like you were saying? That there's Gemini coming up; those things are coming. How do people get in touch with that, or is there something that they need to know about, accessing that information? And you're doing some training, I guess, with people as well.
Yeah. So basically, the first thing they need to do is know that it's free, that they
Mm.
can get on and create a Chat GPT account and just open up a free account and play around with it and get familiar with it. Don't freeze up and you really have to talk to it, not talk to it, but
Mhm.
write and prompt like you're talking to someone. And I know it's a little eerie in the beginning because it's kind of like chat. I've heard people describe chat as their friend because it begins to create that type of a personality towards you by getting to know you. But when it gets to know our expectations, our way of thinking, then now it begins to create a module that really helps to enhance our knowledge. So we can start completely free. You don't have to take a class with my organization or anyone by just opening up an account. I would be cautious about using a AI system that is not in the US. The
Yeah.
new
Deep
deep
seek. Yeah.
deep seek,
Yeah.
because I haven't signed up for that one. So
Yeah.
I was signed up for the Perplexity. You can go on any one of those and they have a free account. Play around with that, get familiar with it, and ask it questions. Just use it as you would Google, and then start to see how it brings up the information. And you can just keep asking questions in your own way when you start to ask the way you ask questions, and then it'll even prompt you to start to ask in a unique way. It'll really up level your game and give you answers and conversation that you didn't think of. So that's the first thing. After that, you want to begin to enhance your skill set by joining some form of a course or getting in a community such as what we provide, like she works digital, that will help you go along and guide you in the areas that you really need to hone your skills in based upon your curriculum, your profession, your desired outcome. So you want to start to enhance, get some specialized knowledge in that area. And then, and even in our particular curriculum, we help with creating the resume, getting that profile, building a portfolio of work to show that what you're doing, and then begin to train you how to bring and merge your leadership skills into that very career set, making that pivot. But it really just takes inquiring. And once someone starts with the free version and they'll begin to notice other things that are available for them and follow that pathway. But if they are literally wanting to go directly into that career field, I would say seek the profession or the industry that you want to work in. We specialize in the media industry, helping to create content. So what we do is take that leadership skill. AI is huge. Content creation is growing, and companies all over the world will need to be able to market and relate to their customer. And so by learning how to use your leadership skills and using the AI tools, one can help a company get their message out in a inspiring way. So we go for inspirational impact and helping the company describe their get their voice out, their true authentic voice. And then at the same time, the content creator gets to fully express themselves because they love being creative.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, and that goes along with what you were saying about future proofing your career. that, as time goes on, things are going to change. We're going to a time period where, the criteria for work and everything is just rapidly changing. There were a couple of commercials I was thinking about when you were speaking. There's one where there's a lady who's about to leave her apartment and the door is locked, and the computer says, "You can't leave." And she said, "What?" And, it's a scary music, and it's like, "No, you can't." And she's like, "What do you mean I can't leave? You forgot your lunch." And she went back and got the lunch, and then she said, "Oh, thank you." So you're
Wow.
welcome, and open the door. So we're living in a whole different world now, where AI is going to be part of ordinary life. And another thing you said was that, Google search. I mean, that was basically a forerunner of a lot of the AI that's going on now. Everyone's using Google search, right? And people
Yeah.
would say, "Oh, Napoleon was born in this year," and people go like, they check in Google search. No, it wasn't. It was,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're all, also being fact checked quite a bit, as time goes on, about what we're saying and how we're conveying that message. But do you see that as being something that we need to be looking at in our schools, our inner city schools, that these kids need to be on a different kind of track as far as technology goes, having access to things like that, because that's going to create a great divide, right?
Yeah.
And what people are able to do.
Yeah, and it doesn't require coding. So anyone, even a child, can learn to do this, but of course give them supervision, and they're learning it in the schools already. They really
Right.
are.
Yeah.
They're like, my grandson is 9 years old. They give
Mhm.
them, they have to have a laptop, and so they go and they do most of their work using the computer. And
Mhm.
it's up to us to just kind of like play around with it, because it doesn't require any type of coding. It can code for you, but you
Uh,
don't have to know coding in order to use it to get the outcome of what you desire to have.
Yeah, that's a really important point, because a lot of people think, well, I have to, put this. I remember going back, and I'm not going to tell my age, but going back to Fortran 4 and COBOL when it first came in, and you had to punch those cards and put them in stacks, to run
Hmm.
into a machine to add 2 plus 2, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
it was a different world back then. So things are moving a lot faster. Um, but what do you think are some of the areas that people you were mentioning, like different industries, need people to do their problem solving, and sort of market their products, whatever they have, or make sure that there's some efficiency to them too. So is there a parallel in this about using AI but still staying rooted in reality about you still need to move this product down the line?
Yeah, yeah. So that falls in alignment with the leadership skills that we have. So when
Ah,
I talk
mhm,
about combining our leadership skills, we know how to manage troops, we know how to manage people. If
mhm,
we've led any form of group for anything, we know how to get things done and collaborate with it. So that's the skill set that you're bringing, is the knowledge of being able to collaborate. When it comes to talking about scrum master, being a scrum master, you're just making, you're overseeing the whole
mhm,
project, and that's bringing everybody together and
mhm.
just making sure that that project is moving along on point and on time like it's supposed to be. So
Yeah.
those are just the basic skills that we have, that we've worked in for years, whether you've served in the military or not, even in the civilian sector. Now you're just adding a little fun twist to it. So you could
Mhm,
take that certification and go anywhere and begin to earn six figures, because now
mhm,
you understand AI, and you're able to get everyone together and keep everyone on point. All you're doing is managing. It's not
yeah.
it's not actually doing the work, but it's managing the work.
Mhm,
So it's the leadership skills and the management and the overseeing to make sure that those projects move forward. And that's what companies are needing now, because their projects are not making the deadlines. And so by understanding what it takes, what the project entails, and moving it forward and bringing it out and getting the team together is what it's all about. So you can do
Mhm.
that in any company, and those are the things, and it's able to be worked remotely. How
Yeah.
good is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What about the term Scrum? Where did it come from? And maybe you can define it better.
So the term Scrum is, I'd have to look. It just kind of escapes my mind right now. But it came
Okay.
from
Mhm.
a gentleman who created a system
Uh-huh.
that he was just trying to make sure that things were put in place on time, and
Uh,
so they just came up with the name, Scrum, just to
mhm.
kind of identify it as something different than
Uh,
as a project manager. But it literally just was a thought, let me just develop a process, an agile process
mhm.
that I can create and then repeat it over and over again that will allow me to get the results that I need.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really interesting because it's like almost because when you had the historically with World War II with factories and all that, you had efficiency experts that would go in
Hmm.
and look at processes and is this process running as well as it can go and that kind of thing. So it sounds like the same kind of thinking about making sure that systems are running at their peak, that
Yeah.
they're very efficient in what they're doing. Um, but do you see anything where, do you see people expressing fear because, it's change and, there's an old Chinese curse and it says, may you live during interesting times, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so do you see people having some fear about it and how do you get over that?
Yeah. So a lot of people are um, resistant to
Mhm,
the AI because they fear that their job is going to be taken over by AI. And now they're talking about robots that
mhm,
are literally starting to take over. But robots need programming.
mhm,
When you know AI, you're able to set the programming, you're able to do those
mhm.
things. It's not the AI that we have to fear. It's the individual who knows how to use AI
Ah,
that we have to fear. So that's what that we have to be concerned of. I don't promote fear at all, but I promote empowerment. And this is why learning how and getting familiar with how to use AI will build the confidence that one needs without having to be concerned about whether they're going to lose their job, because these are
mhm,
what we train is a diverse of scrum project management as well as using AI, becoming an AI prompt engineer. So all of those things, when someone joins our community, they have access to learning that, and they are very very versatile to a industry and a atmosphere. That's not the word I'm looking for, but a time zone of which things are really changing in that direction for technology. So it's all about practicing and getting familiar, because we can use it in any of our industries. So it will be used in all industries. It's just a matter of the individual getting familiar with it and allowing I have a process that a forge process that I matched their skill set and create a pathway, a
mhm,
plan for them to develop a plan for them to be able to a curriculum for them to move forward in their chosen industry. So the basics of what we teach can be applied anywhere. There is just the extra step to become a content creator, to be able to
mhm.
have an impact in the media area. But anyone can learn how to do this. And so I would recommend just getting familiar with it, get in a atmosphere where you feel comfortable, where even those of who are maybe in their late 50s and are still concerned, especially with the layoffs that has been taking place.
Right.
I believe in creating our own future and being in control of that, and not allowing ourselves to be pushed out of the market or pushed out of anything. So when things like this happen, I'm like, okay, well, so what's the solution for that? So that we can empower ourselves and be in control of our outcomes as much as possible. God is in control of all things. However, we still have a role to play in it. And then when we put our part with his part, we have success automatically.
Yeah, that's really important. And as you were speaking, I was thinking about, you can have fear about walking. That's all of us had went through that. And then you can
Yeah.
have a fear of driving, and you can have a fear of riding a bicycle, right? But once
Yeah.
you learn, you can actually do great things with it. You can win a marathon, you can drive in an Indy 500, or you can take a bike, across the country if you want. So as you learn those skills, your confidence builds, and your ability to handle things and competency builds as
Mhm.
well. So that actually probably will help to mitigate some of the fear. But you
Yeah.
also mentioned one thing that I think is critically important for veterans. Many veterans, as they're transitioning from military life to civilian life, some of them have access right now to computer systems and technologies that are actually cutting edge, some of them, depending on where you're situated, what your unit is. And
Mhm.
and they probably should be taking advantage of those things now, right? And then
Yeah.
transition into the real workplace.
Yes, yes. So I would say take advantage of it. When I was active duty, I took every opportunity to certifications and training that was provided to me through the
Mhm.
education center, through the colleges, through my unit,
Mhm.
because it was paid for.
Right,
Because once you leave, those things won't be available like they are as freely
right,
accessible because you're enhancing your knowledge base for
right.
the employer. So wherever you are, some employers will pay for that level of education. You just may be a trade-off for staying at the job a little longer, or maybe pivoting into that position once the training is completed. But it's creating that security for the individual, that they can take that off, check that block off, like, okay, I'm in the right direction. I am moving forward, and I'm forging forward to where the industries are going, where society is going, and where our nation, the world, is going to using technology and AI. And so it's important to stay abreast of what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no way of getting around it and escaping that reality. Now that we have some things going on in a governmental level, I'm not going to even get into that. That's another 10, 12-hour talk.
Yeah.
But the technologies, and we know that Elon Musk is really a very prolific person in the AI space. With SpaceX and everything else he's doing, with X and everything. Those things are, a wake up call for people that, these things are out there and people are going to be using them for whatever purposes, right?
Yeah,
Some good and
we're
some,
moving really fast now towards it.
yeah,
I just see we're
yeah,
really moving rapid. Yeah.
yeah. But how would someone get in touch with you and, get in touch with your courses and that kind of thing? Where could they go to
Yeah. So they can go to shevetinspires.com and sign up for our email registry and get on the list for all the emails that we send out with the information to get educated. Our next cohort will be starting at the end of February. So it's a great opportunity. It's a year long, and yeah, they can learn everything that they need. I am totally about making sure that people are equipped to be able to stand firm and confident in their next move and not have to worry about finances, teaching them how to earn money, to preserve what they have, and to be above what the economy is offering them. We create our own opportunities here.
Yeah, that's an important message too, because the creativity is not just about what you can do with AI, but creating the opportunity for you to use the AI, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's a very,
It's a
very good
high
point.
demand, and we have to put ourselves in position to be demandable.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
yes, of value in
Yes,
this
value.
marketplace. Yeah.
Exactly. We
And
have a lot of value leaving the military, and even the
mhm,
skill sets that we have, regardless if we were in for 6 months
mhm.
to, 30 years, we have a lot of value to offer.
Yes. Yeah, because the average educational level of an American citizen right now is an eighth grade education.
Mm,
That's average level. So we're going into a time period where you have to be able to adapt really rapidly, and we have more available to us in this country than any other country on earth. You go to other countries, people are impoverished. They're just trying to figure out how to get a chicken to eat, right?
yeah.
So that also gives you a global presence. Once you master these skills you're talking about, because other countries need those skills as well. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. And
yeah.
it's remote,
Mhm,
and the one thing that I want to point out, that all three of the areas that I mentioned,
mhm,
becoming a prompt engineer, an IT project manager, or a scrum master, provides a six-figure income, and it just takes
mhm.
applying yourself, and they're very easy to get into.
Wanda, Sister Soldier, Petty, I don't know why you do this to me because I want to speak to you for another 10 hours. We're running out of time.
Just
But
bring me back. Bring me
we've got
back.
to we've got to bring you back. I'm gonna have to call you later on just to talk to someone tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
But wonderful, wonderful information. Thank you for what you're doing for women FR veterans. It's a up, you're talking about walking in hands with God, but this is absolutely a godly thing you're doing. So thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank
And
you.
all
Have
right.
a great one. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely.